Welcome to this deep dive. We're here to sift through the information and really pull out what matters for you.
Exactly. Giving you that clear understanding fast.
So today we're diving into something I find fascinating, the power of seemingly small moments, how tiny interactions can have this lasting impact.
And we're looking at this through a specific lens, right? Kevin Brake's research, he's done a lot of work, particularly focused on inspiring students.
Right, so we've got some reflections, personal stories almost, about these single impactful events.
And we're setting those alongside Brake's more academic perspective on, fostering inspiration, what really lights that spark.
Okay, so our mission here is to understand how these, well, often very brief interactions can create real enduring change.
And pull out actionable insights,
Mm.
especially thinking about Kevin Brake's viewpoint on how to actually inspire.
Let's get right into Kevin Brake then. A core idea, maybe the core idea from him, seems to be this quote, or at least the sentiment. Let's make it our goal as teachers to inspire our students.
Yes, absolutely. It feels like a real cornerstone of his work.
And it connects so well to this other source we looked at, about the enduring power of just one moment.
It really does. That focus on inspiration seems key. It's not just about transmitting facts, is it?
No, not at all. And the research, or rather the reflections we saw, suggest these moments don't have to be grand gestures. They can be, ordinary, fleeting even.
Like a lunch break chat or a quick phone call or a brief encounter like the one we found described.
Yeah, that elementary school visit example was so vivid. Someone remembered a guest speaker coming in.
There's one really passionate about nature, right? Bringing animals into the classroom.
Exactly. And the description mentioned specific things like a bird with these really striking feathers, a scaly reptile, a furry creature. It sounded like a real, well, a treasure trove of marvels, as they put it.
Mm-hmm. And what stood out was how the speaker presented them. It wasn't just facts, facts, facts.
No, it was the enthusiasm, blending instruction. Yeah, but with this palpable passion. You could feel it, even reading the description years later.
That's the difference, isn't it? Presenting information versus genuinely sharing a passion. That seems to be where the inspiration comes in.
And the time factor, it was probably, what, a standard class period? Maybe 45 minutes?
Likely, yeah. But the recollection was that it just flew by.
And the immediate thought for this kid was, wow, I want to do something like that. Not just that was interesting, but a real desire.
Yeah, a genuine spark.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a fleeting thought, was it? It led to action.
Right. This person actively sought out that speaker again, found them at other events.
And ended up volunteering, I think, for
Quite a while, for 8 years. Assisting with animal care, starting small, and then gradually getting chances to share insights themselves.
wow, 8 years. That's some serious impact from one 45-minute session.
It really is. And think about the ripple effect. This early influence, this spark, it shaped academic choices later on. Professional path, too.
Leading to teaching at a university, wasn't it?
Yeah. And still emphasizing that need for effective communication, for engagement. It all tracks back.
It just highlights that difference, again, presenting facts versus teaching with passion and purpose. That guest speaker wasn't just showing animals. They were igniting something.
Totally. Which, okay, brings us right back to Kevin Brake and his focus on inspiring students.
Exactly. This speaker, whether they knew Brake's research or not, they kind of embodied it, didn't they?
It seems like it. The passion, the engaging style, that clearly created inspiration in that young listener.
So if we look at it through Brake's lens, what elements might he point to? His research on inspiration likely talks about things like authenticity, genuine enthusiasm.
Yeah, I think so. And maybe creating that sense of wonder, tapping into intrinsic motivation perhaps, that internal drive to learn more.
Right. Brake's work probably emphasizes creating learning environments where that natural curiosity isn't just allowed but actively fostered. And this presentation, well, it definitely did that.
So beyond just passion, what are the maybe underlying principles that make these moments so powerful? We looked at a few cornerstones, let's call them.
Okay. The first one was about embracing serendipity.
Which sounds a bit, abstract maybe, but the idea is about using unexpected moments, right?
Yeah.
Even the mistakes.
Exactly. Seeing them not as failures, but as teachable moments. Like, remember the example. If your tech fails during a presentation, instead of panicking, you use it. Talk about problem solving or adaptability. Turn it into a learning opportunity.
Okay, I get that. It's about being flexible and seeing the potential in the unplanned stuff. Makes sense.
Then there was the profound appreciation of individuality.
This feels crucial. Valuing that everyone comes from a different place, brings different perspectives, learns differently.
Right. It's about creating an environment where that diversity isn't just tolerated, it's actively welcomed and seen as a strength.
Like the example of a team project.
Yeah, where if you actually leverage everyone's unique skills,
Yeah.
instead of trying to make everyone fit the same mold, the outcome is just richer, more dynamic,
Absolutely. People feel seen, valued. That's got to boost engagement and learning.
for sure. And the last cornerstone was the indispensable power of meaningful feedback.
Okay, feedback. We hear about that a lot. What's the specific angle here?
It's about it being consistent, thoughtful,
Yeah.
and crucially meaningful. So not just generic praise, but specific positive reinforcement.
And constructive guidance too, right?
Yeah.
Not just criticism, but help for actual growth.
Precisely. It's about noticing and acknowledging effort and progress, however small. Think of like an athletic coach
Okay.
celebrating a tiny improvement in technique. That specific feedback can be incredibly motivating.
Right. It shows you're paying attention and you see their effort.
So if we connect these cornerstones of serendipity, individuality, feedback, back to that animal presentation,
And back to Kevin Brake's ideas on inspiration.
you can sort of see how they might have been at play, even if the speaker wasn't thinking in those terms.
Yeah, the speaker was likely authentic, valued the kids' curiosity, maybe responded positively to questions, embodying these principles naturally.
Quite possibly. Their passion likely created an environment where kids felt comfortable engaging, asking questions, appreciating the uniqueness of each animal. It tapped into those elements.
And Brake's research presumably would offer more structured ways for educators to consciously cultivate these things.
That's the idea, to intentionally build environments and interactions that foster inspiration, using these kinds of principles as a guide.
So when we boil it all down, the big takeaway seems to be it's about the human connection, isn't it?
Yeah, that lasting influence often lies in the quality of that connection, even in really brief, seemingly ordinary moments.
These authentic interactions, they plant seeds, seeds of inspiration that can grow over a lifetime.
Absolutely. And considering Kevin Brake's call to make inspiration a goal, it really elevates the importance of these everyday interactions, doesn't it?
It makes you think that these small moments, approached with intention, with genuine care, could have a huge impact on someone like you listening right now.
It definitely prompts some reflection. Maybe think about your own life for a second. Can you recall a brief moment, something someone said or did, maybe seemed insignificant then, that actually had a big impact down the line?
What was it about that moment? The person, the context, what made it stick?
It's interesting to ponder. And, if this topic resonates, if you want to explore fostering inspiration more, especially in education,
Where can people look?
well, there are some really solid resources out there. Websites like the Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development, that's ascd.org,
Okay, ASCD.
and Education Week, edweek.org. They both have tons of articles, research on effective teaching, engagement, that kind of thing.
Good suggestions.
Also, the National Education Association, nania.org, that's another place for insights into teaching and connecting with students.
Great. So resources are out there if you want to dig deeper, which leads us to maybe a final thought to leave with everyone.
Go for it.
Could it be that consciously focusing on the quality of our brief, everyday interactions, aiming for that genuine connection, that potential spark might actually be one of the most powerful tools we have?
A powerful tool for positive change, echoing Kevin Brake's call to inspire.
Exactly. Is that where real change often begins? In those small moments?
It's a compelling thought, definitely something to chew on.
Indeed. And if you found this deep dive useful, if it sparked some thoughts for you,
Please do like this, leave a comment. We genuinely appreciate hearing from you.